Welcome to Peace the Storyteller, where every story inspires, uplifts, and connects. If you love heartfelt tales and meaningful moments, hit that subscribe button and join our storytelling family. Let's create magic one story at a time. I beg you to please subscribe and turn on your notification bell on. I love you genuinely. Peace the Storyteller, sharing stories, spreading peace.
The Council's Web. The days blurred together in a haze of preparation and anxiety. Mama Ebel's teachings had taken on a new urgency, as if time itself was slipping away from us. The air around the village felt charged, heavy with the knowledge that the council's reach was long and their eyes were already upon us. I could feel the weight of the power inside me, roiling like a storm, and every day it grew harder to control. It was no longer just a force within me, it was becoming a part of me. I was learning to wield it, to make it bend to my will, but the cost was steep. Every time I summoned the power, a part of me slipped further into the darkness. Chidai could see it. He watched me closely, as if waiting for me to lose control, but he never said a word. His silence was as deafening as his presence. We stood side by side, overlooking the village from the edge of the forest, where the whispers of the wind seemed to carry warnings. "Do you ever feel like we are running out of time?" I asked, my voice barely more than a whisper. Chidai's gaze was distant, his thoughts clearly elsewhere. "I feel it too. The council doesn't wait. They are always a step ahead. But I won't let them take you, Amora. Not without a fight." I turned to him, my heart heavy with doubt. But what if we're not strong enough? What if we're just playing into their hands? His hand found mine, squeezing it gently. "We don't have a choice. They know who you are. They've been watching you for longer than we realize. And they won't stop until they have you, no matter what it takes." The realization hit me like a punch to the gut. The council had known about me long before I had ever discovered my powers. They'd been tracking me, waiting for the moment when I would become powerful enough to bridge the realms, waiting for the moment when I would become their greatest threat. The thought was overwhelming. I wasn't just a victim in this. I was a weapon, a piece on their board, and I had no idea how to navigate the game. The truth behind the council's plan. That evening, as the fire crackled in the heart of Mama Ebel's hut, I found myself once again questioning everything. My power, Chidai's past, and the council's relentless pursuit. It all felt like a puzzle I couldn't solve, each piece slipping further away from my grasp. But there was something I hadn't told Chidai yet, a secret I had kept hidden from him. Something that Mama Ebel had whispered to me, late one night after the others had gone to bed. Something that made the council's pursuit of me all the more dangerous. "They want you to open the veil," Mama Ebel had said, her voice low and grave. "The council believes that you have the power to bridge the realms, to open the veil between the living and the dead. They think that by controlling you, they can control the spirits themselves. They'll have dominion over both worlds." The words had sent a chill down my spine. The veil. The boundary between the living and the spirit world. The council's obsession with controlling it was no secret, but the idea that they saw me as the key to unlocking it was terrifying. "You have to stop them, Amora," Mama Ebel had urged. "If they control the veil, no one will be safe. Not you, not Chidai, not anyone." But what did this mean for me? How could I stop something so powerful, so beyond my control? The power inside me was wild and untamed, and the idea of controlling the veil, it seemed impossible. I had to tell Chidai. He needed to know what we were up against. But how could I tell him something like this without breaking his heart? A plan unfolds. That night, I sat in the clearing by the edge of the forest, the moon casting long shadows across the land. Chidai joined me, his presence a comforting warmth beside me. The weight of everything we were facing hung in the air between us, unspoken yet undeniable. Chidike, I began, my voice trembling slightly. I've been keeping something from you. Something Mama Ebo told me. He looked at me, his eyes filled with concern. What is it, Amora? They believe I can open the veil, I said, my voice thick with the enormity of the revelation. The council, they think I'm the key to bridging the realms, to controlling the spirits. And if they succeed, they'll have control over both the living and the dead. His face paled, his hand instinctively reaching for mine. The veil, he whispered. But how? I don't know, I admitted, my eyes downcast. I don't understand how I could do something like that. But Mama Ebo says it's in me. That the power inside me is strong enough to tear the veil open. That's why they are coming for me. That's why they've been watching. Chidike remained silent for a long moment, his face a mask of deep contemplation. Finally, he spoke, his voice steady but tinged with urgency. Then we don't have much time. No, I replied, shaking my head. We don't. I'll help you, he said firmly. Whatever it takes, I'll help you. We'll stop them together. I looked at him, the weight of his promise settling in my heart. It was both a comfort and a burden. The truth of his past, the shadow of his family's sins, still loomed over us, but in that moment, I knew I couldn't face this alone. If we were going to survive, we had to face the council together. The first move. The next day, we began to prepare. Mama Ebo, Chidike, and I worked in secret, gathering supplies and formulating a plan. We couldn't trust anyone, not even the villagers. The council's agents were everywhere, and we needed to be careful. Chidike had a plan. He knew of an old ally, someone who owed him a favor from his days with the council. This ally, a former member of the council's inner circle, had valuable information about their next move. If we could find them, we might have a chance to stop the council before they found me. The journey would be dangerous, but it was the only option we had. We had to find the ally before the council closed in. As we gathered our things and prepared to leave, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The shadows felt deeper now, the air thicker with danger. Every step I took, every decision I made, felt like it was leading me closer to a precipice. And yet, I knew one thing for sure, I couldn't turn back now. To be continued.